right, everybody, welcome. We're here today with Miss Ashton Drummond. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Happy Thursday morning.
Yes, you too.
Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Our Federal Hill office agent that recently moved to Howard County.
Yes.
So are you technically in the Howard County office now, or Federal Hill?
I'm actually technically in the Canton office.
Oh, okay.
I'm a hybrid of, you know, all of the city offices and now Howard County. But
Gotcha.
When I joined Cummings, it was Canton, and then we moved to Riverside, and then it was Fed. So that was my way of kind of keeping my communication with both offices. Now I'm Howard County.
Well, I hope you're enjoying it out
there.
Yard life or whatever you want to say. So, all right, we're jumping in a little bit new format. So I hit Ashton with my normal questions, and then I sent her some new questions yesterday, and her OCD is bugging her out. So hopefully she had time to review all this. But I'm always curious, weirdest thing that's happened to you in the business?
Weirdest thing. Well, so showing wise. So one time I went into a house, it was like a split foyer house, and there was this older guy that was like sitting in the living room, and I went in with my clients, announced myself, and I'm like yelling, I'm like, hello, like, just trying to like let them know that I was here, and he just wasn't responding. And I was like, okay, he's either deaf or he's dead. And so we would go up to the living room, and I said hello, and this guy just snaps into like, just this like personality of like, oh, I'm going to show you the house. And so he showed us the house. He was deaf, so we were like, or almost deaf, so he couldn't hear me when I came in the door, but we were like yelling as he's like showing the house. So it was quite an experience, but right. Yeah.
Never a dull moment out there.
Yeah.
Any particular person that you would love to work with, celebrity-wise, sports figure, for any particular reason?
Probably Chelsea Handler. I am always she seems like she'd be a good time. I really enjoy her.
Follow her a lot.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I read her most recent book, which is a good read. I'll Have What She's Having, when I was on vacation recently, and it's a good time. So yeah, I feel like she'd be a good time to work with.
You just took an amazing European vacation.
Yes, you're in Greece.
Santorini.
Yeah, highly recommend if you're going to Greece. I have the itinerary I can share.
I know, everybody just says you have to go to Greece.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
I've not been there.
We went to Italy last year, and I was like, there's no way Greece would top it, and honestly kind of did.
Wow.
So I highly recommend.
I've been to Italy and the whole Positano thing, and but it tops that?
Yeah, yeah. Just a diversity of food, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I'll eat some food. All right. Good stuff. Funniest client request?
To spend the night in the house.
Like before they bought it?
They wanted to, before they bought it at a showing, they're like, oh, I wish we could just spend the night in the house. I'm like, fortunately, we can't do that, but can't even ask. I'll look like a lunatic, but yeah.
That's funny. I remember I bought my first house. I moved into Butcher's Hill and downtown. I don't know. And it was like the first night I was like, I'm like, the hell was that horn?
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Tracks,
thing. I get the request. I get why they asked, but I'm like, just not a possibility.
So it took me a few weeks to adjust, but I adjusted.
Yeah.
I probably would have still bought the house knowing that it was, All right. Interesting stuff. All right. House features that you appreciate that you don't think like clients appreciate as much?
Trash can drawers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, our first house we had it, second house we didn't. I missed it terribly, and so it became kind of like a must in our latest purchase.
See, I'm like, I don't have a garage in my house, so like I would love a garage. Like, something that people don't realize. Just like store all the things and stuff.
For sure.
Not even the cars much, but just all the
All
right. Trends, like housing trend, things that you're seeing, like design trends, anything that you're like not loving that you're seeing like that's gonna fade away quicker than you think the clients maybe should not.
I would just say like the gray LVP like flippers need to stop using it, because it is like every client that I work with, they gray just floors. Like whenever we see it, it's like it's red flags before I even walk in the door. Like I just feel like it's just cheap. They just need to stop using it. It's just not in anymore. Yeah. I feel passionate about this.
So, Amy Birmingham from 2 episodes ago this morning.
Yeah.
Her husband's a hardwood floor guy, and she said the same thing.
Yeah.
No more gray floors.
It drives me nuts.
I know. So we go through these cycles where we see these things. Yeah, I gotcha. All right, good stuff. All right. A little bit more, like your favorite Baltimore neighborhood at this point then? You've lived all over?
Yeah, Riverside was where we lived last. Yeah. Well, I just felt like Riverside, it was like a great blend of like we were in close proximity to a lot of things, but it was quiet. Yeah. And I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. Most Baltimore thing about you?
I have been going to Ravens games since I was 6 years old.
Really?
So my parents have had season tickets since like early 90s.
Town?
I think so, yeah.
Just when you're old enough to start taking you.
Yeah, well, no, I think it was like around when they got into town. So, yeah, so since like 6 years old. So it's just been a tradition every year to go to games.
PSLs, or what they call them?
Yeah.
Okay, you go every game.
Yeah.
With your parents?
We like mix it up. Now we're like splitting with my parents. So like we try to like be fair with, my husband and my mom and my dad.
Connor.
So, yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Coming to the holiday party this year?
Yes, of course he is.
All right, good. Yeah, holiday party coming up.
Yeah.
All right. How many years total in the business now?
Just over 8, going on 9.
You're such a baby. Are you 30 yet?
I am 32.
32.
Yeah.
All right. 8 years. And then how long have you been with me?
Since I was thinking about this on the ride up since August of 2020. So, which also feels like, just yesterday.
5 years now.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking with me.
Yeah, of course.
So, and then prior to that, you were with Shore Group.
Yes.
Joe Sacchetti, Andrew Undum.
Yeah.
Shore Group is still over at Berkshire. Great team. Joe Sacchetti was with them. He's now over with us at the Federal Hill office, so you got a good blend. But great sort of first experience in the real estate, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Getting your foundation set and everything.
Yeah, so it's interesting because when I graduated college, I worked for a marketing firm, and I was like the liaison between the client and the like copywriters and stuff. And one of the guys that worked with me at the time, he left to join a company at KW, and they were looking for a marketing director. So it was like a good like blend of my interests. I had interest in interior design and like just marketing, which what I went to school for. And so I joined there, then realized like midway through like the first year, I'm like, I'm doing like the follow-up for the agents. I'm setting out their open house signs. I'm door knocking. I'm doing like, I'm being an agent for them, but I'm not being paid like an agent. Yeah. So I took the plunge, and that was, join Shore Group.
And then last year, what was your sort of sales volume?
I was just under 20. I'm like really trying to get through that.
So where'd you fall as an individual agent on the stats at the award ceremony?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I feel like...
Is this your highest year yet?
Yes. Yeah. I think it was... I want to say it was 3, but I can't remember. Yeah. No, maybe it was like 4 or 5. I think it was top 5.
Top 5.
I'm very happy with it.
Individual agent here, 20 million, 32 years old, 8 years in the business.
Yeah.
So can you give us sort of the playbook on how you built that, I guess? I mean, that's incredible for, and you've been kind of consistently right there. I mean, even not just last year. It's not like you had a breakout year. You've been up in the stats every year.
Yeah.
And so I know there's a follow-up plan. There's a lot of open houses. I would love just to hear from you, if you don't mind sharing, like what's worked well for you to be successful. Yeah.
So when I like first started in the business, I was doing as many open houses as I could. Mm-hmm. So, there was like the first couple years, like a lot of weekends, I would do like 3-4 open houses. And even when I get slow in like today's business, I'll like, past couple weekends, I've done 2 open houses on Saturdays just to try to like ramp business back up. Yeah. That just helped me like get really comfortable with meeting people. And then like I had like I was very diligent with my follow-up plan. So like persistent and like knowing that like I could do 8 open houses and not meet one person that was ready to buy right then. But if I stayed in touch with them enough and like maybe learned things about them, maybe the name of their kid or where they're looking or specific things that they're looking for, then in my follow-up, I could kind of point out some of those like personable things that I could like note instead of like just setting a action plan and just like letting, bulk emails hit them and hope that they responded.
Yeah. And you have a real, I feel like, strategic open house plan always too, right? In terms of like you sign your husband in first on the sign-in sheet.
Yes, I do.
One time.
Yeah, I do. Connor Masseth, I use my maiden name so that they don't see my name signed in there.
Or he signs in, so it doesn't look like your handwriting.
Yeah, and then so it just people follow suit. Yeah, because if you have like a blank sign-in sheet, like I feel like people the first person messes it up and they'll like just not put their phone number. And then honestly, if that does happen, like maybe if I'm like kind of running late and like they come in and like before I had the chance to do that, I'll just like when they go upstairs, I'll just put my phone number just so that like the next person that comes in, like they see like something that they can follow. Yeah.
What are some of your other strategies at the open house? I feel like you sort of control the room, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, I always ask people to sign in. I always like say it's for the seller, and then I just try to like just be myself and just like be like as personable and like warm as possible. We're not on every time that we do an open house. Sometimes like, we're just not in the mood. And those times I feel like I'm just wasting my time because, I don't know. I just feel like just being yourself is really important. Making people sign in and then like having like following up quickly and then like
and that's phone call, email, text message.
Mostly text and email. I feel like a lot of people that I meet at open house, they don't like really want to be called as much, and like that might be my millennial showing a little, but yeah, like I feel like people like text and they like emails.
Are emails providing any sort of like other listings or data?
Yeah, so like another like a good touch that I'll do is like, you know, maybe the Friday, like, you know, I meet them like one weekend and then maybe the next Friday I'll send them an email with like, you know, I met you at an open house in the zip code last week. Here are the open houses that are happening this week. Just knowing that like, you know, that's probably how they're enjoying to like find and see houses.
Right. You're able just to pull a list right, give it all to them so they're not.
Just link, just like these are all the open houses happening this weekend.
So you're going to open up the door for them to go potentially meet other agents.
Yeah.
But you're almost showing them like, I'm not scared for you to meet other agents.
Exactly.
I'm gonna like I'm different. I'm differentiating myself than just that's interesting. Yeah, so you're providing them.
You kind of have to trust that, like, you know, like my touch is of value to them, or like even like emailing them updates on like interest rates or things like that. Just providing value that's not just like, hey, are you ready to buy? Because people don't respond to
text message. Are you able to put like the link to the open houses in a text message?
You
or
could.
What are the text messages like?
You know, you could, but I don't think I've ever tried that. I usually do the links in email.
Yeah, maybe you can copy and paste it, put it in text.
But like, what text people, like, I'll like just be like, just want to make sure that you got my email. Like, you know, just want to make sure. Like, sometimes it goes to spam, so I just want to make sure that you got it. Like, so nothing like, hey, are you ready to buy?
Follow up almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's good.
And it's not like right away. Like, I'll email them on like the same day, like a couple hours after the open house, but then I'll text them the next day.
I mean, are you a CRM person?
I am.
You are a CRM person. All right.
I use Follow Up Boss.
Still Follow Up Boss. Okay, yeah. You were a Follow Up Boss before you joined the brokerage, I think, too, right?
Yes.
So you've been using Follow Up Boss for a long time.
Yeah, it's great. It's inexpensive, keeps me organized.
$80 a month, $90
I think $69 a month. Yeah.
$70 a month. Okay. Follow Up Boss. What are the most sort of aspects of Follow Up Boss that you love about it or use the most in that? Like I had somebody on recently. They said I'm using Brivity, and we really like the ability that it connects to do like postcards for us.
Yeah. So I use it for when I meet leads at like an open house or just any sort of like, you know, new lead. It helps me keep organized with like follow up. So I'll remember to like, I'll put a task so that it can remind me to follow up with someone at a certain date or frequency. And then for my past clients, I'll like use tags. So it's a good way for me to organize my past clients. So I'll, you know, give them a tag of a past client so I can filter all of my people by if they're past clients and kind of filter out all of the leads.
Sure.
And then I'll also do like, you know, tags for like when they bought or sold. So like bought in 2025, sold in 2025. I'll do tags for the neighborhood they live in too, because every quarter I send my past clients a quarterly update for their specific neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I'll go in Smart Charts, pull like the quarter data for their neighborhood. So like if they live in Locust Point, for example, I'll pull a Locust Point quarterly update.
Yeah.
And then I'll send an email. I'll get, you know, all of the emails of, you know, the people that live in Locust Point, and it's a good way for me to kind of organize by neighborhood.
Yeah. I love the strategicness of it.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha.
I actually don't use it for emailing as much though, because I use Flowdesk for the emails just because I like their templates. It's just, they're just a little bit more like refined and they just look more polished.
Is Flowdesk just a sort of email marketing campaign?
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to collaborate with Follow Up Boss. Yeah. I'm like hoping that it happens, but I have two different sources.
Check that out as well out there, folks. For you, I mean, buyers, sellers, investors, everybody, you know.
A little bit of everything. Like I feel like I'm pretty balanced. I feel like some years I'm more buyer heavy, some years I'm more seller heavy. I'm usually kind of almost 50-50, I would say. So it's good though, because it's like, you know, when the market is, you know, one way, it's good to lean on, you know, buyers or sellers depending on what it's like.
Yeah. I mean, it's super competitive right now. So winning clients, I mean, listing appointments, anything you kind of feel like you set your standard or your value proposition differently than the rest of the herd that helps you sort of stand out? Yeah, I mean, I have like a very in-depth like buyer and seller guide. So whether they're working with me either way, I'll, you know, I have a great guide that's like 20 something pages. I send them before. Buyers, are you sort of for both in person or how do you go over? So I send the listing guide or the buyer guide to the client before the meeting so that they have like a little bit to look at before. Just because sometimes when you like pull out this guide, they're like, oh God. And I'm like, I have to like de-arm them, be like, hey, we're not going to go over this whole thing. We have guides company guides and agent tools, and you've kind of created something more specific to yourself.
It's just more like specific to myself. I like design stuff, so I like spent the time to like kind of put together something myself in Canva.
Canva. Okay. Yeah. You designed it yourself in Canva?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a Canva whiz or whatever.
Yep. So I send that. And then I would just say like overall, like just being more like thorough, like when I'm working with a buyer, I try to show my value as soon as we get to a house showing. So like, I want them to know, like, you know, I tell them, I'm like, I'm not a home inspector, but I've been to hundreds of home inspections. I kind of know what to look for. I know how to read serial numbers on the AC units and the water heaters and whatnot.
Yeah.
So we're walking through and I'm pointing out things. I'm like very thorough with my like, you know, home tours. And so they learn early on that like they can go into open houses, they can, you know, go with other agents, but like they're going to see the value in like working with me because they're going to feel like, secure and like I'm the point.
12 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
This is 30 years old.
I always tell people, I'm like, I'll probably sound a little negative when we're walking through houses, but like everyone's always like, oh my gosh, we need that. And then like for sellers, like I have I go through the top comps, send them a detailed spreadsheet, and then kind of make like almost like a mini appraisal, like make adjustments for differences in like bedrooms, bathrooms, and you know, I just say thoroughness overall.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well then doing all this business, you know, like how do you sort of help manage the stress? I mean, what sort of systems do you have? I mean, are you using key transaction management? Are you doing
I do use them. They do help quite a bit.
For buyers and sellers use key?
I'd say mostly for buyers, sometimes depending on like the time of year, like how busy I am at the time. But I would say most transactions, yes.
Going to Greece or whatever you mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
So key transaction management, Liz Sweeney runs that out of the Timonium office for the whole brokerage for the last, I don't know, 10 plus years.
Yeah.
I got you. So you've been using her.
Yeah.
How else are you sort of like managing the business, managing the stress?
So
I mean, personally, what do you do to help manage your stress?
Yeah, so
you like
to be totally
out to the links?
Yes, we do golf a lot. My husband and I golf. Yeah. We try to get out at least once a week. I actually recently
from Salisbury?
I'm from Salisbury.
So I'm from Salisbury. I think you go down to Salisbury and golf.
Yeah.
Rental properties down there, right?
Yes, we do. But yeah, golfing helps. I've been recently golfing with some guys that we met at at Hobbits on Tuesday morning. So I've been like trying to like just set aside time for myself.
Met him where?
At Hobbits Glen, sorry.
Okay, that's a golf course out.
Yeah. It is in Hoco,
Hon, you girl.
And then honestly, like therapy, like I think like everyone could like benefit from like therapy. It's a good like way to like dump like things that are going on personally or like, you know, with business.
He or she therapist?
Honestly, every other week.
How long have you been doing that?
Almost 2 years, and I feel like I'm just more mentally sane because of her.
Yeah, that's good. I've heard other people on here the same thing.
Yeah.
People have, business coaches, all that
stuff. And travel, like I have to like plot myself out of Maryland to like, actually unplug a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Suggestions for newer or agents that are struggling right now in this competitive market? I mean, you've been kicking butt. Like obviously, I think the therapy, the taking the time off the golf and everything. I'm a big believer in like the sort of the mental balance or whatever of the work life. Like I love the work, and then I'm like, all right, enough. I need to whoever's upset me, whatever crazy person I'm dealing with at this moment, and then I need to retreat to some quiet time or whatever. But for other agents out there that are wanting to do the amount of business you're doing, not that everybody has to strive to that number or whatever, but any suggestions on how to build and grow that? Yeah,
I mean, open houses, I'm always a plug for those. Like whenever I get slow or like feel like I need to ramp things up, I'm always doing open houses. And if anything, you're just putting good vibes out into the universe that you're trying to
have
exactly. Yeah. And then just staying in touch with past clients, staying in touch with people in your sphere, and just being like genuine and personable, like not just sending like a form text or a form email to people that people can see like past, like when you're not being genuine, or if you're more transactional based, like you're like, oh my gosh, I need the business right now. So just trying to come from a place of value and being genuine, like you actually genuinely care about helping them.
That's very true.
Yeah.
In terms of AI or like anything new on the horizon for you on how what you're to continue to maintain where you are, or even potentially grow? I mean, are you using AI or anything new out there that's like you're interested in, that's like thinking you're helping your business?
I definitely use AI personally and with my business. Even like I do these mailers to like a specific niche of homeowners, and it helps me like write I'll do like a letter every like month or every other month, and I'll download the PDF of all of my previous letters, and I'll upload it to AI and be like, these are the type of people that I'm writing to. This is an example of what I've done in the past. This is kind of the topic that I'm thinking this month. And then it'll help me, like, it'll just shrink the time that I would have spent, 2-3 hours, like sitting with a blank, sheet in front of me. Now, like, having like a template to be like, okay, I'm going to edit this sentence or that. So it helps a lot.
I mean, like next week we have Scott Letter, the executive director of the Real Estate Commission, coming on to do a office meeting with us or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, like he's got his own little spiel, but I'm like, I got to ask him some smart questions.
Yeah. So that's a good idea. I use AI for everything.
I typed it all into, I'm going to be interviewing the Maryland Real Estate Commission executive director, and I need to ask some smart questions about what's going on in the Real Estate Commission's world, and and spit out a bunch of questions. I'm going to feel really smart when I interview them.
It helped me trim my plants the other day, like, because I'm, new to county life. So I'm like, what do I do so that I don't kill these plants for next year? Yeah. And I'm having a conversation with ChatGPT about like sending pictures, asking it to help me.
Hilarious. What about any like fun facts or most unusual job you had before doing real estate?
So I was a bank teller when I was in college. Oh, yeah? So that's
strong financial.
Yeah.
Which bank?
Farmers and Merchants Bank. Yeah. So like more like a local bank. One of my.
And did you go to Salisbury?
So I didn't go to Salisbury, or I went to Salisbury, but the Farmers and Merchants was in Reisterstown. That was the All right. And in golf, I'd say like a lot of people like. I'm a frequent long drive champ at golf tournaments.
Oh, really?
For girls.
Okay. And what?
I don't know.
How many yards? I'm not a golfer. I'm like.
I mean, like if I get all of it, like maybe around 250 or so.
250, ladies. Can you beat Ashton Drummond? Let's go. Somebody send me a video. All right. I think that wraps us up for today. I really appreciate you sharing with us as always. If you guys want to reach out to Ashton, if you have any questions, I hope that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us today. Wrapping up. Have a good one. Take care.